Before
Whoa,
we
whoa,
get
whoa.
before I let you finish that, no, you cannot say episode 85 and not call this the Ocho Cinco episode.
My
Shout out
apologies.
Ocho Cinco. All right, go ahead, my brother. I'm sorry, I didn't.
No, no, you're good. You're good. That is on me. I am a bit rusty. We have had some time off. We were off last week. It's been the holiday season. D, how was your holiday? How was your Christmas? How was your week off last week?
Man, ho ho ho. It was a
Not
pretty
ho
good
ho ho.
Christmas. I was, what I'm saying, it was low key, I just spent it watching football, playing a little PS5, opened up a few gifts. But, it was a good week, man. It's a good week. Can't really complain. Was watching a lot of sports over the last couple of days. We definitely took a vacation in the middle, right when the fantasy playoffs started, which is always interesting. But
Mhm.
hey, man, I'm happy to be back. I feel like today's going to be a funny day. Uh, I'm here, man. How are you? How was your Christmas? How was your vacation last week? How you been, man?
Oh man, I'm doing great. Vacation last week. My wife and I went on a little bit of a trip. It was a blast. Had some good food. Got a chance to spend some time together. Christmas was great. Got to do the thing with the fam. I will say I'm very disappointed in one thing though. Every year for Christmas, I smoke a rib roast for my family. Like I get a nice rib roast, nice bone in, nice medium rare. And this year, my mother said, "No, I don't want to do that this year." And I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
She doesn't like red meat, but still, like I'll cut her off a piece at the end, throw it back on the grill, get it nice and however she likes it. But I was like, you're gonna rob the rest of our family
Have a
grade A
good.
prime rib because you didn't want it, because you want to go eat dinner with your sisters at noon. Are you telling me this? And she was like,
Mm.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I was like, cool. So what I did, my wife and I, we got a nice, God, it was almost a 2 pound bone in ribeye. And I made that for us. We split it on the best steaks I've ever made. One of the best.
So you have like a thing, like you like, how do I say this
You
without
can say it.
having
It's okay. We haven't had a pause in a very long time.
you like smoking meat.
I do. I really do. And I like smoking meat so much that for Thanksgiving, I bought, for those who smoke, I bought a Weber Smoky Mountain. I had to found out I had to feed a lot of people, and I've wanted the smoker for a very long time, but again, it's only my wife and I. There's no justification to buy a smoker that can smoke a 20-pound turkey, but this year I had to smoke a 20-pound turkey, so I was able to parlay that into a grill that I've always wanted. So yes, I enjoy. I'm going to use it for New Year's. Hopefully, I'm going to smoke some chicken wings, and it's going to be a great time.
What got you in, like, how did you start? What got you into the fine delicacies of really grilling and smoking meats? Pause.
I bought my first grill. My wife and I, we bought our home. Like we live in an apartment. You can't have a grill in an apartment because of the smoke. So we bought a home. First thing I bought myself was just a good old fashioned Weber kettle. And then from there, I just started like, the usual burgers and dogs. Like, oh, what else can I do on this thing? And that's kind of where it all started, like smoking meats and then buying an array of grills to do the things that I enjoy doing. So that's where it
Because
all
I've
started.
been thinking about maybe looking into living in a home, whether it's renting or hopefully buying when the time's right. And I'm thinking like one of the first purchases I might get actually might be a grill, and just because like because in our community the fish fries and the cookouts during the summertime, that's where we live. So I
That's
just
where we
feel like
live.
if I if I get a grill and I really start working on my chef hand now, when I go back to Virginia and really be with the fam, I can be like, listen, your boy kind of knows something. Because my grandmother, she's really good with like baked potatoes, baked beans, frying fish, loves salad. She makes great deviled eggs. She's just a great cook. And so she's been teaching me some things, but I've also feel like I got to put my own chef hand on things. I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't really eat a lot of pork,
Hmm.
but here I will dabble in it. I'll dabble in the swine. I don't really eat a lot of beef, but I'll dabble in the cattle to, get, for a burger or some ribs, a steak. Um, you know, it might be time for me to get a grill and really get on my P's and Q's. You know what I'm saying?
I will say the respect you get, like once you earn, like my wife's family, like I make the turkey every year, like the amount of respect I get on Thanksgiving Day, like they will clean the whole kitchen. Just like if I need the kitchen to prep, like I was at their house this year to make the turkey. Dog, she had all this food on the counter and she threw that shit on the ground. She's like, "Yo, clear this counter. You got to make this turkey for us." Like you are treated like
Oh,
it's like D1. Rick
wow.
Pitino taking you into the brothel, like, "Hey, this is what's here if you come to Louisville."
So you're saying the day I really get on my P's and Q's with the meats and learning how to make them, that my girl and her family, they gonna respect me on a whole new level?
The family as a whole, like my family too, like my immediate family. Like when I say like we want to get together for food, and I'm like, "Yo, okay, I'm gonna make some chicken wings." Dog, I can be late. I can be. It don't matter. I'm
Okay.
in charge of the protein. Y'all move to the beat of my drum,
Okay.
and it is what it is.
I like where this is going. I think it's definitely time for me to really get into my meat smoking. Like, because I just feel like, look, listen, the things that us men do when we're bored, like we can do a lot of great things. Like
Yeah.
there needs to be like a real deep dive TED talk study into men when they are bored. Because I'm gonna tell you, there are a few things that men do when they're bored. Top of that list is cheat.
Oh Lord, Jesus.
Top of that list is cheat. The second on that list definitely is watching sports and
Yeah.
drinking. Third has to be grilling, drinking beers. Fourth, probably hitting strip clubs and or bars.
You know what? Speaking of strip clubs, Gator J, what's up, boss? Thank you for those beautiful photos. Oh wow, Gator out here smoking. All right, Gator. Gator, what that looks like an offset. What offset do you use? First of all, second of all, I was thinking about strip clubs the other day, and this is complete random. When I was young, and I'm sorry for being on talk, but this is crazy. You mentioned
Now
strip
you're good.
clubs.
You're good.
When I was in college, I used to go to strip club all the time with my friends. And then I was
Mhm.
home one holiday season and I was talking to my uncle like I lived in the beach. And I was like, "Yo, we go to strip club, we have fun." And he looked at me and he said, "Why do you go to a club, throw money at a woman to get you all hot and bothered, and then she leaves you alone?" I've never been to a strip club since.
Yeah, these damn it, these supermen out here. You
Yeah.
goddamn supermen. Yes, we know they're not gonna fuck us, but I still want to
You know,
go.
he looked me dead in the eye and said, "Why are you throwing money at a woman to get you hot and bothered, and then she gonna walk away? You pay. You
Listen,
might as well just go pay for the
it goes
real
back
thing."
to the line I once heard about this dude once said, "Yo, once he said I stopped watching porn when someone asked me why do you want to watch another man get some box? I ain't watching porn." And I was like, all right, listen, y'all can be Superman all you want, but I'm still gonna go and watch my porn. Okay, I'm still gonna go do that. And listen, you can be a Superman all you want, and shout out to all you Supermen out here. But sometimes instead of going to the bar and looking at the same ragtag women doing the same ragtag things and fuck around and waste time and money buying one of these women a drink, let me just go over to the strip club and throw a few dollars at Tatalicious and support her dreams of one day becoming a pharmacist.
yo, yo.
If she want to twirl around that pole to one day become a pharmacist or a CPA or an accountant or some of
More
that,
power to her.
well, more power to you. Here's a 20, here's a 5, and then here's a 1.
Like, dog, that ruined strip clubs for me forever. Like he said that to me like I was a moron, and I was
Nah,
like, "Damn."
I'm glad he said it to you because me and him would have had a long discourse. I'd have been like, "Hey, yo, dog. So, what is your beef with ass being shaken in your face? You got to throw a few dollars. You got to throw a few dollars. You got to throw a few dollars."
You know what? I'm gonna go when I see him again. I'm like, that conversation we had 15 years ago. I got a rebuttal.
Yeah, like what is your problem with ass being shaken in your face? Would you prefer the alternate? No ass being shaken in your face. Now you just got dollars in your pocket and no ass being shaken. Look, like, come on, man. What are we talking about today?
That's a fair point. That is an astute rebuttal. So today we're going to talk about We have a lot of NFL to talk about. We've been off for 2 weeks. We want to focus on the week that just passed. We want to talk about Nathaniel Hackett getting the boot and all these coaches getting all this money to walk away. We want to talk about the game last night. We want to talk about terrible divisions, NBA Christmas games. And then, as always, we're going to talk our fantasy talk. And let me tell you, I have a lot of stuff to pop off about tonight because yours truly has found his way from the 6th seed to the championship game in our dynasty league. So we'll get there in a second. Gator J, what kind of offset Oklahoma Joe do you have? Because I've been looking at Oklahoma Joe's because I want an offset smoker. Let's go to week, was it 16 in the NFL? Has already, God, we're almost done. We got 2 weeks left, and then we got the playoffs.
It was like yesterday we did our division breakdown. Now we done went through the entire fantasy football regular season, 14 weeks of that, plus the 14. Obviously, that's the 14 regular weeks of the NFL. And now we're in the last 2 weeks of the season. Crazy,
which is crazy. What is time? So last Thursday we start off in New York as the Jets were stunned by Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars, who have caught fire. And if they win the rest of their season, if they win the final 2 games, they will win the AFC South. Then on Saturday and Sunday, we saw the Bills clinch the AFC East in Chicago, a very interesting game. The Carolina Panthers, we talked about them 2 weeks ago. They beat the Lions. The Eagles game against Dallas was extremely tight. We want to talk a little bit about that. What else we got? The San Francisco clinched the NFC West by beating the Washington racial slurs. Chiefs win the AFC West for the 7th year in a row. And the Rams and Baker Mayfield dropped 51 of them things. 51 of them things on the Broncos. And then the Texans finally get over the hump and win a game and stun the Titans. What are your 2 biggest takeaways from Week 16, D?
Okay. 2 biggest takeaways from Week 16. Takeaway number 1. The NFL on Christmas Day. Listen, I love y'all. I respect the NFL, but there's only one king on Christmas Day, and that is the NBA. Respectfully speaking, that's my one takeaway. My second takeaway: don't let the Green Bay Packers get hot. Don't let the Green Bay Packers get hot. They're looking like a team that's about to lose in the NFC Championship game. Don't let them get hot. Don't let them get hot. It looks like they're gonna get everyone worked up to make an NFC Championship game and get blown the fuck out. That's a regular Packers season. Don't let them get hot. Oh man, I think going into that, I don't know. I'm stuck between have the Packers figured it out or are other teams just pissing down their leg? Golden opportunities, maybe a little bit of both. I look at the Packers, they've been playing better football over the last 3-4 weeks, but it hasn't been the best football, but they've been finding ways to win games. And this is the NFL. There's no style points. You either win or you lose, right? It don't even matter. You either win or you lose. So, listen, I mean, as long as this team continues to win, we got 2 games left, home games. One against the Vikings, who their record in that team don't match up.
They do not.
I think like you watch the Vikings play and you look at their record, you're saying, "Oh, this team's dangerous." And then you watch them play and you say, "There's no way this team has over 8 wins." Like,
and one of those wins came against the Fighting Jeff Saturdays, and it took the greatest comeback in the history of the
NFL history to beat the Fighting Jeff Saturdays. Y'all were down 33-0 and still found a way to win that game. Oh man, Jeff Saturday, you're lucky we didn't pod last week. Yeah, I'm just looking at it and it's like, yo, all of the Vikings games, like all the games they won have been 1-score games. Every single one. Now I'm looking at it, it's like, okay, every game that y'all lost, y'all got beat down. Like it wasn't close from start to finish. So what does that tell me? Y'all really can't make any comebacks. Unless it's against the Fighting Jeff Saturdays. If you play a real football team that's competent, it's a wrap for y'all if it gets to a certain number. I don't know, man. I don't know. Also, another takeaway I have, and I guess maybe it's like takeaway 2.5. I know there's the Eagles that everyone's hype on. I know there's the Cowboys that everyone's hype on. I'm still very confused on I'm very confused on the 49ers, right? Either this 49ers team is like pretty darn good, and they're about to do something, or these guys are frauds in the making. You know what I'm saying? Like, which one is it going to be? Like, part of me really thinks all it's going to take is these guys having to play someone that's actually good and not shitting all over themselves. I think I'll wait till I see them lose. I don't think the 49ers are all that, though.
So, to that, I agree with you. I was actually back to the steak store with my wife. I was at the butcher buying the steak. I had on an Eagles hat. Guy was like, oh, we're the real threat. And he was a 49ers fan. And I looked him dead in the face like, dog, ain't nobody scared of you. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be afraid of. Mahomes hung like 48 on you, a competent offense. Like, I get it. It's
put points up on his defense.
Like, it's the best defense in the league. I get it. Fred Warner's that dude. Bosa, like the D line is nasty. But if you got to travel, like if we're talking about them traveling to Philadelphia for the NFC Championship game, I'm not scared at all. Like, I get it. I get Kyle Shanahan, run coordinator, all that other stuff. But for me, my first big takeaway is whoever wins the AFC, whoever gets the 1 seed in the AFC is going to go to the Super Bowl because the AFC is going to be rigid. If the playoffs started today, the Dolphins would be at Arrowhead, which with Tua being out doesn't sound as scary. But the Chargers would have to go to Cincinnati, and then the Ravens would be in Jacksonville. Someone's going to take somebody else out. Like the Bengals or the Chiefs, whoever doesn't get the 1 seed between the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Bengals, one of those teams is going to take one of those 2 teams out. It's going to be a dogfight to get to the AFC Championship game.
You're saying whoever the 1 seed is has to deal with the winner of Jacksonville, Baltimore, more than likely. Whoever the 2 seed is has to deal with more than likely what?
The Chargers,
Miami, San Diego, Miami, the Chargers, and then you would have to figure out either you're playing the Bills or
the Bengals.
Chiefs or the Bengals. Okay,
yeah,
that is tough.
That like whoever get, and then you got to travel to either Buffalo or Arrowhead for a chance to go to the Super Bowl. So like whoever gets that 1 slot in the AFC is going to the Super Bowl. The AFC is a gauntlet. My second point. I told you guys 2 weeks ago the Carolina Panthers are going to win the NFC South, and they're going to host the Dallas Cowboys in the first round of the playoffs. They have to beat Tampa Bay this week, and then I believe they play the Falcons last game of the year. Carolina Panthers will win the NFC South, and they will host the Dallas Cowboys in the playoff game. And anything goes. I'm not saying Dallas will lose. I will say to the Dallas Eagles game, I know Cowboys fans feel excited, and my question is, what the hell are you excited about?
I think if you're a Dallas fan, you're excited about the fact that this team is finding ways to win close games. You can see offensively, this Dallas team is pretty good. Defensively, they have a lot of good playmakers. I would say over the last 2 or 3 weeks, I would say the Dallas defense has kind of fallen off some.
It took a fluke 3rd and 30. Granted, you completed the pass, right? Like, let's not take away. Dak was perfect. He was 28 for 28 against zone. That's on Jonathan Gannon. But you needed 3rd and 30, a prayer to T.Y. Hilton to beat Gardner Minshew. All right, man. I'm telling you right now, if you come to Philadelphia, Jalen's going to hang 50 and walk your bitch ass back home to Dallas.
Now they got to be bitch asses. They're not a regular ass. They bitch asses.
Jalen is going to drop 50 on that defense and send them boys home, calling Sean Payton like Draymond called Kevin Durant after they lost.
It's funny because I think Saturday kind of showed me. I don't know if the Eagles would blow them out completely, but I see where you're coming from because I'm not too far from you. Like, y'all needed an interesting game versus Gardner Minshew to beat the Eagles at home. Now, granted, Dak was kind of playing for the other team for a little bit until he kind of figured out he has a star on his helmet, and then.
But 4 turnovers. Jalen takes care of the ball better than, and granted, 2 of those picks, like they just ripped it from Quez Watkins. That was great corner play from Curse and the other guy. Like, that was just great. You just ripped it from Diggs. The other one was a fumble from Miles. that recovered. And then I forgot, I think the last one was another pick by Gardner. So, like, Jalen's not going to give you the ball 4 times.
Well, you can hope. You have to hope.
Jalen not going to give you the ball 4 times.
Well, we say that, and then like the most random,
That's fair.
The random fumbles happen. The snap hits the center in the ass, and now the ball is just sitting there for like 5 seconds before someone jumps on it, and you're just
That's
like,
fair.
"Oh, that's what we're doing." Okay, guys. Well, can't coach anything about that.
Well, let me walk that back. I am very confident that the Eagles will beat Dallas if we meet them. If they don't lose to the Panthers in the first round, and they have to come to Philly, I am very confident.
So you're very confident that Tom Brady is going to lose this week versus the Panthers. They need that to happen.
They need that to happen. I'm just think about Tom, and it's very frustrating, right? Tom can be ass for 3.5 quarters, and then the last 6 minutes, he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm the best to ever do it." Like he did it this week. If I'm Carolina and I don't know how you do it, right? I guess Sam Darnold is a new man. If you can find a way to get up like 10 points, 2 scores, make it a 2-possession game with like 4 minutes left in the fourth, I think you can do it.
Yo, ring, ring. The Saints and the fucking Cardinals would like a call to say, "Hey, dog, you can be up 10 in the fourth, and it still don't matter."
I know. I just want to see Dallas lose to Carolina in the playoffs. I hear you, Gator J. Stop it. Tampa beats Carolina, then it's over. I know.
And if your objective is for the NFC South winner to beat the Cowboys, you best hope it's Brady playing.
That is Tom.
Yeah.
Well, let me stop talking my trash.
Week 1 was the only time this year the Bucs looked like a legitimate Super Bowl contender.
That's fair.
And guess who they played to open the season?
Dallas. I will say for the Eagles, beat the Saints this week because God knows we got enough injuries now. We can't. Week 18 against the Giants can't mean something. If so, we're in a world of hurt. D.
So I'm looking. So I want to go back to our 49ers point, right?
Yeah.
And so we all know the 49ers. They opened the season with a loss to the Bears.
Yep.
And they beat the Seahawks, and then they lost the nastiest game ever to Russell Wilson and the Broncos. And I bet you, looking back on it, that's the game they're probably like, "Dog, we could be fighting for a number 1 seed."
Yep.
Bullshit. So then, they beat the 49ers. We expect that. They beat the Panthers. We expect that. Then they got drugged by the Falcons 28-14. I think we remember that game.
Yep.
I remember that game because it was in Atlanta.
It was in Atlanta.
Very next week, they had to go home, and Patrick Mahomes put 44 on their heads. And now, since that game, they haven't lost, right?
Right.
Let's go through the teams that they played.
Yeah.
They played the Rams again.
Trash.
Now we say, okay, we don't know if that's a quality win. They beat the 49. I mean, they beat the Chargers.
Okay.
Yeah. But if you watch enough of the Chargers game, the Chargers can't run the ball consistently. They struggle to score points. 22-16 was the final result. Okay.
Okay.
They beat up on the Cardinals. We expect that. They beat up on the Saints. We expect that. They then play the Dolphins. We watched that game.
Yeah.
33-17. Okay, so
Great.
there's a quality win.
It's a quality win. At the time, that was a quality win.
Quality win. Very next game, that was a couple weeks ago, they played the Buccaneers. That was 35-7. And then last Thursday, we saw the Thursday night game versus the Seahawks, where they only won by 8. Came back last week to beat up on the Commanders 20-37. Now, this upcoming week, Sunday, they play the Raiders in Vegas, and then they end the season with the Cardinals in San Francisco or Santa Clara.
Tell me the quality win. Tell me what I should be afraid of.
I'm with you. I'm looking at it, it's like, okay, your best wins are against the Dolphins and Chargers, maybe. When the one time you played a team that had an offense, you lost 44-23. Okay.
On your head. But I think Bosa was hurt that game. I know he was out a little bit this season, but that doesn't change the narrative. D.
Bosa's changing the outcome? Okay.
Yeah, he changed. He was at a rally. He was at a rally that week. What's the most embarrassing loss of the week, and why is it the Denver Broncos?
Oh, thank you. We don't have to. We both agree that the Denver Broncos easily the nastiest loss of the week, right?
Hold on. Keep going.
Denver. This is why it was y'all. I think a couple weeks ago, if y'all remembered, I came in here and said Denver's defense has no peer in this league. Denver's defense is the clear equivalent. They have no peer. It is them. If they had an offense, this team would be a Super Bowl contender. Hey, man, you know the one thing about defenses is eventually they got to break. Eventually it breaks. Eventually, at some point, the defense looks at the offense and says, hey, dog, we just need you to go the length of the field and score points. All season, if you've been watching the LA Rams, you're saying, dog, this team struggles to score points. Really struggles to score points.
Really struggles.
Like, it's nasty. You got Baker Mayfield. You got Baker Mayfield at the helm. So you already know it's going to be a struggle to score points. This team, the Denver Broncos, 51 points. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury and our listeners of this great podcast, as well as all the fellow podcast hosts going for Two Network, I want to let you know that in the National Football League, if you let a team score 50 points and you also don't equal that 50 or at least put up 45, someone's getting fired. I have yet to see someone get 50 put up on them and someone not get fired the week after if the offense didn't show up as well.
That's a good rule of thumb.
It's almost a guarantee. I want to say it's almost damn near a guarantee. If your defense gives up 50 and y'all don't make that game competitive, someone's getting fired. Nathaniel Hackett, we will be seeing you. I know we're about to talk about that, but at what point, I think, listen, it was one thing when the offense was bad, but the defense was keeping you in every game. So all the scores were respectable. 13-17, 24-21, 24-17. But when you lose 14-51, all right, dog.
You got to go. You didn't get us Aaron Rodgers, and you suck at your job.
Oh man, and we're gonna talk about that when we really get into the firing of Nathaniel Hackett. Aaron Rodgers, he screwed over the Denver Broncos a little bit more than we want to care to recognize. I want to let y'all know Aaron Rodgers pushed the Denver Broncos franchise back at least 5 years. At least 5 years. Go ahead. Go ahead.
For me, the most embarrassing loss is the Las Vegas Raiders. They had, at the end of the fourth quarter, according to ESPN's probability chart, they had an 80% chance of winning that game towards the end of the fourth quarter. Josh McDaniels. It's the easiest math on earth. If it's cold weather, just give it to Josh Jacobs. That's all you got to do. I don't know this idea of giving it to Derek Carr and letting him throw it all over frigid weather. Dog, just give it to Josh Jacobs. And a lot of fantasy owners would have been happy too. But for me, it's the Raiders. I watched most of that game. Kenny Pickett and the Steelers offense could do absolutely nothing. Their defense hung in there and got a couple of weird interceptions from Carr. For me, it's the Raiders. You pissed your season away because you got too cute. I'd love to shift gears and talk about Nathaniel Hackett, though, because, as you said, it was announced yesterday that he had gotten the boot after his defense gave up 51 to Baker Mayfield in the Los Angeles Rams. They only have 4 wins this year. He's being paid leave, which sounds like a great deal. And that leads to a bigger problem that's going on in the NFL and in college. It's that the hiring and firing of head coaches, and there's all this dead money or these buyouts on these contracts to get these coaches to go away. Do you think this is becoming a bigger issue in sports, or is getting fired? Someone has an opinion. Yeah. Or is getting paid to go away the new way?
I'm gonna start as a take the first angle from a coach. As a coach, getting paid to go away, Hall of Fame generational ski mask money. Hall of Fame generational ski mask money. I'm sitting here wondering how I can do something similar, because that's incredible. Pay me millions to just leave y'all the fuck alone because I was so terrible at my job. Oh, that's the American dream.
Yes,
the American dream. Okay, on a serious note, this is becoming an issue though. I think it's a bigger issue for owners because they're the ones who got to come out of pocket and pay this shit. I feel like in the case of the Denver Broncos, right? You hired Nathaniel Hackett because he's been the quarterback's coach and the offensive coordinator for the reigning two-time league MVP, who at the time was maybe a little disgruntled with his franchise. And you were thinking that, hey, if we can get his quarterback coach and his OC, we should be able to get the quarterback to come too. News fucking flash, Denver Broncos. This is why you get the player first, and then you get the coach, and not the other way around. Because you know what you did? When my man decided he wanted to actually stay put in Green Bay, you were stuck with a coach that you were on because you were sure that he would bring the quarterback. And if he brought the quarterback, you guys would be all right. You'd have a better chance. He decided he didn't want to go. We all know he stays in Green Bay, has had an up and down year, but Aaron Rodgers he's still in contention to play in the playoffs, albeit may need some help, but he still has a chance. Now you look at Nathaniel Hackett, who then had to look at his quarterback, Russell Wilson, and say, hey, this is my offense. What do you like to do? How can we mesh this? The problem was Nathaniel Hackett didn't know that he got stuck with one of the most selfish, I don't care about what the rest of this team wants to do. I'm going to play my way quarterbacks probably in the league. And now you're sitting on a ticking time bomb because you gave him $200 million. You can't move him. Nobody wants to take on that contract. So either you're going to have to figure out a way to make this work, or you're going to cut Russell Wilson and you're going to continue to pay him for a while. This is the definition of setting a franchise back years. Aaron Rodgers set the Denver Broncos franchise back 5 to 6 years. And to all you bitch-ass Broncos fans who was in my fucking mentions during the summertime telling me, you need to play with Jordan Love. Jordan Love about to be your starting quarterback. Aaron Rodgers about to come in under this and he gonna take over. He gonna beat Derek Carr. He gonna beat He gonna beat Patrick Mahomes. How does fucking hell look, you sorry sons of bitches? Y'all are in fucking hell for the foreseeable future. I want y'all to watch the sidelines every time the camera pans to Russell Wilson. He's talking to his team. Look at the body language, dog. The receivers don't want to hear it. The O-line don't want to hear it. His own defense cussing him out. Coach don't even want to look you in the eyes as you come back. Russ, you're a God-fearing man, so I'm respect. I'm going to just say, dog, your time is up. And never take a quarterback whose last name is Wilson. They never pan out. Talking to you, Zach Wilson.
Ooh, spicy. I don't think it's a problem, as the streets say. It's only tricking if you got it. I was reading up on Matt Rule's salary earlier. The Panthers owe him $34 million still, but his job at Nebraska, there's a clause in his contract that says that the salary he'd make at his next job would offset some of the salary that the Panthers owed him, which is stupid. But no, I have no problem with it. Like you said.
So what does that mean? That means that
the Panthers might only owe him like $6 million now, because he got 8 years, $72 million at Nebraska.
Fair. So this is my thing. Why do they keep giving these 8 years, 72? So you're gonna financially tie yourself to someone whose best track record was okay. All right. Temple, Baylor. I get it. But when he left, there was no NIL deal, and now he came back. There's like NIL now. Who the fuck wants to? What NIL money are you offering someone to come play in Nebraska that they couldn't get at any other school in the Big Ten?
Yo, did you hear that foolishness?
Yeah, I heard what he was saying. Yo, and that's another thing, coaches. If your name's not Dabo Swinney, Nick Saban, or maybe like two others, please stop with the I want guys who want to come here and play and be a part of a family. Forget the NIL. We can pay you as much as we can, but we want guys who want to be part of it. Hey, yo, dog, you're not Nick Saban. You're not Ryan Day. You're not Dion. There's only a certain number of y'all where I get it. Your brand as a coach, you put too many people in NFL for me to say your brand is ridiculous. Yeah. But a lot of you other coaches, you need to be going to your donors and saying, hey, please, pay this man as much as you can.
The college coach that embraces the NIL the same way that John Calipari embraced the one and done concept in college basketball will be the next powerhouse. If you
Yep.
walk in and teach these student athletes how to manage their money and how to get NIL deals, and I think I didn't watch all of it, but Dion was talking to Shannon Sharp and he talked about NIL. It was like, I'm
Yep.
trying to teach these young men how to be professional so you
Yep.
can walk into a booster's home and get an NIL deal. Like the coach that embraces the NIL in the same manner that Calipari embraced the one and done mentality. Like Coach K was down there, Duke, sticking his nose up at John Wall and Anthony Davis because they wanted to go. Not them specifically, but the one and done concept. He wanted people to stay 3 or 4 years, and Duke never really caught up.
Still
I mean,
haven't.
they're competitive, but that thinking set Duke back a couple of years. Meanwhile, John Calipari is building these super teams at Kentucky and contending for championships.
And on that Duke point, it was like it's part of their brand, right? You want to be part of brotherhood, and like eventually you want to come in, learn the system, come in, learn the system, play behind whatever eventual NBA players, and then go on. Calipari said, "Hey, dog, you think I'm about to put Boogie Cousins on the fucking bench behind this white boy? Man, get this motherfucker out!"
Not this white boy. That white man was minding his business.
Yeah, like if he's like, man, if you don't put this if you don't set my lineup with Boogie and John Wall and AD, man, fuck what Christian Layton are talking about, man. And tell your parents to call me. Yo, dog, I would love to hear Coach Calipari on the phone with some of these players' parents who don't be getting no type of dick. Hey, man, my kid's good too. Why you don't play him? Dog, John Wall's my point guard. Who the fuck is your kid? Fuck your kid. Tell that little boy to transfer. Fuck is you talking about?
Tell him to transfer to Go
play at Santa Monica State. You're gonna get some tick there.
Yeah, go transfer to ELAC. Go be on Last Chance U. Get out of my face.
It's like, yo, I like that is a profound point. I completely agree. The coach that embraces the NIL deal is gonna basically just be like, listen, dog, you gotta be here for 2 to 3 years for you to be draft eligible. In this time, come be a part of this program and watch how the guys who follow my guidance on how to get this NIL deal, they get this NIL money. That way, whether you make it to the NFL or not, you're going to come away from leaving this school with a little bit of change in your pocket so you can do something with it.
Yep.
And Gator J, I have to say, Ryan Day is a part of that convo, not because of his coaching resume, but because of where he coaches. Big difference.
We'll find out Saturday night.
Guys, yes, but we know about the brand. Yo, there's like 4, 5, 6 college football schools. Their brand is bigger than their university. Their brand as a football program is bigger than them as a university. And I bet you we can name them. Let's go.
Ohio State, Bama, Georgia. I would put, and this is a little controversial, I would put them on the same. Well, throw Clemson in there. Notre Dame. I would say Michigan. I forgot Michigan. My bad. USC. Texas, even though they're not that good.
I agree with you completely. They don't have to be good. The brand of football has to be bigger than the university. So
Oklahoma. And then I'm gonna say UF.
Florida.
Like UF, FSU are kind of on the same for me. Like when you think of FSU, what do you think of? You think of Bobby Bowden, and you think of football.
Bobby Bowden. Yeah, okay, you're right. Florida,
and UF is on the outside looking in at 11.
Nah, Florida too, because they had the Urban run, they had the Spurrier run.
Yeah,
okay.
And Anthony Richards is about to be a top 10 pick or top 15.
So yeah, I agree, and I would say my
Oregon
might be the University of Oregon.
Yeah, I forgot Oregon. Oregon for sure.
Outside of them 11 schools, yo, dog, if you're not the head coach of any of those 11 schools, you cannot use your program as the selling point. You got to use the NIL as the selling point. And that's okay.
And that's
okay. We live in the point, we're living in the era now. Listen, the NCAA had to fight back because they were losing too many athletes to the professional ranks, or especially in basketball, you're losing too many athletes to the one and done. We can't we can't compete with the G League.
Yeah.
Gator J, no, not the University of
Yeah.
Miami.
Miami's
Sorry.
watered down, dog.
No.
No.
That work has been stepped on.
Yes.
Listen, they had a good generational run in the 90s, early 2000s, but that was that.
Yeah. We ain't heard from them in 20 years.
It's actually, every year that's one of the schools that I'm just like, them in Nebraska, in Texas,
Wisconsin, for some reason.
like every year I hear about them getting these good recruits and are they going to come back and so on and so forth. And every year they manage to not be good. And I'm just like, all right.
Dogs like Texas A&M.
Oh, A&M's another one. Another one's like, you get all these good recruits
And
nice facilities.
Yo, what is Jimbo's buyout?
Did they fire Jimbo?
They have not, but I wonder what his buyout is.
Too much.
Oh my God.
They gave him like a 10-year deal for like $100 million, didn't they?
Jeez. So listen to this. This is according. So he signed a new contract in 2021. His salary is $9 million this year. His terminate if they fire him January 1st, 2027, the buyout's $48 million. 2028, $39 million. 2029, $29 million. 2030, $19 million. Ski Mask Hall of Fame.
Is it crazy that this is why I could not be this is why I couldn't be an athletic director, because my punishment is you're that bad, you're gonna sit here and you're gonna stink up the joint until you decide you don't want to do this anymore. And I'm going to allow the media, the fans, as many people as they want to throw dirt on your name until you leave. That would be me. I would not take up for you. I would stick you out there to dry for as long as I can.
I'm sorry, D. I missed a couple of years. If they fire him this year, 2022, $89.9 million. If they fire him next year, $76.8 million buyout.
So Jimbo's not getting fired for at least until 2027.
At least 2027. Let's see. Yeah, and that is a $39.2 million. He not getting fired till 2029 when it's about $20 million.
Yeah.
Dog.
Listen. Some days I just want to go back to Virginia Tech and ask if I can be a graduate assistant and just learn. I'll study the tapes. Give me a few years to really learn how to be a football coach, bruh.
You'll be 40 years old, set for life. Fire me. Get me out of here. What you gonna do, AD?
Justin Fuente out here still getting paid after tearing and after destroying Virginia Tech's football program to fucking shreds. He's out here still getting paid.
What was his buyout?
It's nasty business.
What was his buyout?
Shit. Let's look at it. The Justin Fuente buyout. Which Fuente, let's go. Here we go. Justin Fuente buyout. 8.75 million. 8.75 million. Which we got now we got about the also got to think about the school though. When you talk about some of these buyouts, think about in relation to the school. 8.75 million from Virginia Tech. Boy, somebody hurting. Somebody around this bitch is hurting, and they upset about it too.
Yes.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I haven't been to Tech in a while, but I bet you the prices of things went up after that. Somebody got to pay for that.
Somebody got to pay for that. So the boosters gonna have to pay for that, but it's not cute walking up to your boosters asking for $8.7 million so you can fire the coach you sold them on 3 years ago. Tough scene.
Bam said they don't give black folks that type of money. Hey, Bam. Now, but then he said except Mel Tucker, he fleeced Michigan State. What happened with Mel? He's not still the coach at Michigan State.
When did he get fired?
What?
Let's see. Hold on now. No, he's still there.
Yeah, he's still there. Mel Tucker's no new buyout items.
What's Mel Tucker's buyout though? I'm intrigued.
Let's see it. Okay.
What the hell?
The base salary is 5.9 million. Dog, I'm not hating. I'm not hating. I'm just saying, what has Mel Tucker? An
Mm.
annual payment of 100,000 paid from the school's deal with Nike and a $400,000 retention bonus. Altogether, oh my God. Fam, so, okay. So, if the university chose to fire Tucker for cause, it will owe him his entire non-performance related salary. That means 9.5 million per year through the term of the contract. So they Tucker, however, must make a reasonable effort to seek other employment. The salary from his new job, if he finds one, would be deducted from his amount that Michigan State owes him.
Okay.
Tucker currently has 9 years left on his deal after this one. So if he is fired at the end of the season, extremely unlikely, he would be set to make up to 85.5 million over the next decade.
Mm. Actively seek employment. Dog, I would go coach, be an assistant coach at UTSA, get $500,000 a year, and chill.
Mm. Listen, college football coaches, or maybe coaches in general, I see how y'all finessing. I see what y'all doing. All I'm gonna say is this: just know you can only take and take and take from these universities before they get one of you. And once one university figures out how to get one of you, just know it's carbon cut and paste. Every university is going to include that language, and they
Yeah.
just they're the universities, the college football landscape, they were just waiting on one university to get the buyout language right. The I'm not going to pay you this money, and you're going to sign this deal to know that when you fuck up and I fire you, you're not getting this money. And I guarantee you there will be some differences in the way people coach.
Yes. D, let's talk about these quick hitters. What's your reaction to the game last night? Chargers Colts.
Nick Foles was trying to get people killed last night, dog. Nick Foles, listen, why don't listen? I know we talk about defenders and the way they be hitting.
Mm-hmm.
Pause. Why do we never talk about? And I want to shout out. I want to shout out. What's his name? What's his name? Troy Aikman. Because Troy Aikman, aka White Jay Z, he. Listen, all I'm saying is put a picture of Jay Z and Troy.
I've seen the picture.
Them dudes, they look. Listen, I know when Hove met Troy Aikman for the first time, he said, "Yo, you do kind of look like the white version of me. Where you
Yo,
from? You
what was it?
not from
Was it the Spider-Man meme? Like they
Oh
saw each
yeah,
other in the room, and they was
oh
just pointing at
yeah.
each other.
Listen, but Troy Aikman said it best last night. Yo, yes, we got to get better and get some of these hits out of the game. But Nick Foles is leading. You can't lead your receivers into some of these hits. And
Yeah.
Peyton Manning used to do it a lot. Peyton Manning used to get Dallas Clark Peyton Manning took years of Dallas Clark's life. Nick Foles took maybe a year or two off my man's life last night. And he got my man Derwin James suspended. Now, Derwin, when I saw that hit, I said, yo, I said, Derwin, they about to eject you, but boy, you just gave me the feeling of real for a second. Because I saw that, I said, God damn.
I said, is that Sean Taylor?
Listen, you know when you watching the NFL or a college football game and someone get a hit, you just be like, damn. I was like, God damn, Derwin. Damn.
I am proud to say I didn't watch a single snap of that game last night because I refused to watch this fighting Jeff Saturdays. I saw that hit on Twitter, and that's all I needed to see.
Also, the NFL is so dirty because they keep putting the Colts in prime time, and I think it's for a reason. I think it's for like
They
want to make an
nasty
example.
business.
I think. Listen, this is a far-fetched theory, but I think the NFL, especially the coaches that work on these networks, highly petitioned for more nationally televised Colts games because they want to hang Jeff Saturday out to dry.
No,
And make it.
the Monday night games are scheduled before the
I'm not giving them
season
Monday night
starts.
games. I'm talking about some
Now,
of these Sunday night
yeah,
games. They're doing that on purpose. These prime time 4:25 afternoon games, they're doing this on purpose.
yes.
That's what I'm saying. They
Get
do
them
it.
out the paint. Get the Colts out the paint forever. Speaking of the Colts, which division is worse, the NFC South or the AFC South? And which division champ do you think wins a playoff game?
Ooh, okay. It's funny because remember when we were doing our breakdown, we might have covered both South divisions in a day because we said, "Yo, these fucking divisions stink." And I think when we were talking about it, we were like,
Mhm.
"The AFC South is god awful." Like I don't like
Yeah.
Tennessee should. All Tennessee has to do is win all their division games, and they should win the
Yep.
division. Boy, were we wrong. We had the wrong South. That was the AFC South is bad. I agree. The Jags are up and coming. The Titans are literally falling apart. The Texans are trying to tank without tanking. They are the hardest playing tanking team I've ever seen in my life. And who's the fucking other team in that division?
The Colts.
Ah, the Colts just want the season to end. You look at the NFC South, and you're just like, yo, there's a lot of talent on each of these teams. There's talent on each of these teams. How is that all y'all are bad?
All of them.
It's the NFC South is nasty. The NFC South reminds me of the 2011 NFC West, which was the year. No, was that 2011? No, it might have been 2009.
Was that the year the 7-9 Seahawks made it in?
That was the Beastquake year. That I was looking at that division and said, this has to be the worst division, maybe ever.
Well, there was one year the NFC East let a 7-9 team in.
Whoa. Okay, but that's kind of the name of the NFC East. Y'all's always bad.
Chill out.
No, y'all are always mediocre. That's the problem. Y'all are always mediocre. So everyone always knows that this division's always just going to be bleh. But y'all are always bleh collectively. So then we always know that whoever wins that division is going to be bleh. But they might give you a game for no reason. This is the first year where y'all got four competent teams, and now I'm like, all right, well.
Only division in football where everyone has a Super Bowl ring, and the only division where all four teams might go to the playoffs this year.
Okay.
But you were saying.
Okay. I want to go back. See, stay right there because that first point you made, that sound good to someone who does not know NFL history. Let's dive a little bit deeper to that
Let's
point.
go a little bit
deeper. The only division that every team has a Super Bowl ring. Okay. Yes. Eagles last one was 5 years ago. I'll give you that one. When was the last time the Giants won? Well, that was 11 years ago?
Yep.
Okay. That was 2011. That was 2011 because they beat the 2011. No, that's 2012. 2013.
It was like 2007 and then like 2011, 2012.
Okay. So it's like 12 years since the Giants won. It's been over 25 to 30 years since the Commanders won. And it's been well over 25 years since the Cowboys won. So what we're saying here is, listen, y'all had y'all's glory days. And every so often, y'all put a really good team out there that looks like it's a championship contender, i.e. this year, i.e. 2017. But most of the time, that division is what it is. Look at Bam. Bam says, I'm talking like the Packers don't beat up on the Vikings, Lions, and Bears almost every year. Yes, the NFC North is bad. But you know what? We're usually the kings of it. So you just always say, hey, if you can beat the Packers, you have a good chance in the NFC North, which is why the Vikings, Bears, and Lions, they built their teams and they game plan to beat the Packers. The Packers built their teams to beat the 49ers, the Cowboys, the Eagles, and whatever other team in the NFC has a really good defensive line. Sorry.
All right, let's stick into football. College football playoff this week.
Your question, AFC South. I believe the Jaguars are going to win a playoff game.
I can get down with that. Dog. We'll talk about this in fantasy about Derrick Henry. College football playoff kicks off this weekend. New Year's Eve is going to be an excellent night. We start off with TCU and Michigan, and then the 8:00 game, UGA at Ohio State. Who you got? UGA versus Ohio State. Who you got?
Okay. Been thinking about this one for the last week or so because I'm like, really good. I'm sticking with my bandwagon. I think TCU is just going to be too much of a fast team for Michigan. So I'm going to go TCU over Michigan. But I think, guys, we're going to be in for an incredible game. These are two really good teams. Mm-hmm. Michigan is a lot better than I gave them credit for. I've walked back sort of like how I had to end up doing with UGA last year. I just got to walk back my hate. Okay, cool. But I still think TCU is just overall a they're just too fast at every position. I think they're going to beat Michigan, honestly, 44-41.
Okay.
UGA and Ohio State. I woke up this morning saying, I think UGA is going to win. I went to bed last night thinking, Ohio State's got this one in the bag. And I'm right here at the moment where I'm going to say, until I see someone knock them off the top of the mountain, I'm going to go UGA, but it's going to be one of the ugliest 31-17 games ever. Like, this thing
Okay.
is going to be, I think it's going to be 24-17 going into the fourth. CJ Stroud's going to throw a pick six, 31-17. It's just going to be all she wrote. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be all she wrote. But 31-17, I think it's going to, but I do think it's going to be a good game. Like, defensively, I think there's going to be a lot of good plays, man. I just think, again, until I see someone beat UGA and knock them off the mountain, I got to go with it. And Bam, listen, he says, keep doubting Michigan. It helps us win. Yeah, but the one thing, it's one thing to just out scheme and beat your rival in their house and just kick the doors in. It's another thing when a team's just fast at a lot of positions. Speed kills. You can't coach against it, and you can't coach it. You just got to pray to God that he drops it.
All right. So UGA, yes, I'm with you. You've talked me into it. Let's go with TCU. If TCU can get up, I don't know if Michigan has the horses to get back into it. Like, if they're, what's their quarterback's name, Bam? You know better than I do. Has there been a game this year where Michigan has had to rely on his arm to win? I remember watching one Michigan game, and he did a great job
I would
throwing the
honestly
ball.
say the Ohio State game. That they
Yeah,
laid on his arm, and boy, he made him pay. Like, he made him pay. Granted, it was kind of like the same player they were going to, but he made him pay.
I would try to get up big, and I would make McCarthy, thank you, Bam, beat me with his arm. If he beats me with his arm, I can live with that. But they're not going to run the ball and play. They're not going to play the Seahawks offense on me. Like, I want to get up, use that speed. Let's get up 2 possessions, see how Michigan does with that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's switch to basketball. NBA, you said it earlier. NBA is the king of Christmas. I 100% agree with that. I did not watch a single snap of football. Well, I did watch a little bit of football, but I watched a lot of basketball on
I
Christmas
watched
Day.
my Packers play, but I was switching between the Packers game and the Lakers game because for the first time, maybe the first time in my life, the Packers and the Lakers were both playing on Christmas Day, and I had to sit there and watch.
It was a very interesting day, though. What are your thoughts on the Christmas games? Do you think any team that won on Christmas has a chance to build some momentum and make a run during the second half of the season?
Um, I'm going to start with the defending champs and the Golden State Warriors. That was a really, really big win. Like, if you guys have been paying attention to the NBA, the Grizzlies have been hot. They are clearly one of the better teams in the West. I'm thinking with the Warriors, man, they got to get healthy. Obviously, they got to get Steph back. They got to get healthy. And they got to figure out what the hell they're going to do with these young Bulls, right? They got a lot of young talent from the couple of down years that they had. And now they got to figure out, hey, which one of these young guys can actually contribute? And which one of these young guys do we need to see if they can get us some draft capital. And I see a lot of people, throwing shade to James Wiseman. The dude's like 20 years old, man. He's got a long career. He's
Yes.
all right. The other team, surprisingly, I'm going to say the Dallas Mavericks.
Oh,
They were getting schlonged up until the third quarter, and then magically they started hitting shots. But listen, when the Mavs are hitting shots like that, that's the Dallas Mavericks that you need. You're hitting your threes. You're not doing that. You're feeding Luka. He's able to either dish it out the Woods or Dinwiddie. Other guys are contributing. Excuse me, I'm sorry. The problem is most Mavericks games that I've watched, it's all look the same.
Yep.
It's Luka, and then he get on that bench, and boy, it is nasty when Luka leaves that game. And heaven forbid, if Luka is not making his shots on that game,
it's ugly.
It is ugly. So that's why I'm like, if the Mavs find a way to play consistently like they did on Christmas Day, that's a good team, and I think they can make it back to the Western Conference Finals.
I don't know about all that. Continue to start Christian Wood, Jason. I don't know. Waiting Christian Wood and Lucan could drop 30 a night and be in good shape. For me,
Gotta
I'm
be.
with you. Say what?
So I think with that, it has to be a defensive thing. Offensively, you know what he
I mean,
can
he
do.
averages 2 blocks a game. Like his defense isn't so putrid that you can't start him and Luca. Like that 2-man game with Tim Hardaway in the corner, like that. That's it.
Yeah,
That's it. That's the
that's what killed
game.
us. That's what killed the Lakers.
So I'm with you on that. For me, I'm with you with the Warriors. Um, I like Clay, but sometimes he's really annoying. But I really enjoy watching Clay pop off against the Grizzlies on Christmas Day. There was just something real funny about him yelling in Dylan Brooks' face,
Oh
telling him
yeah.
boys to
Oh
shut.
yeah.
Yeah, like Clay. Clay was the old man at the Wild, like, hey, young blood, I'm still
Listen,
here.
is this not one of the most funniest developing rivalries in the NBA? Because it's like, hey, yo, dog, why are y'all beefing? Like, okay, it's one thing if like the Cavs and the Warriors are still beefing, and LeBron was still trying to get his get back against the Warriors, but it's like, yo, dog, Grizzlies, y'all are just up and coming. Warriors, y'all
But I
been.
love that though.
I
Like I
like it too.
love
I
that
think it's good
Josh. I love
basketball.
that Josh looking the champs in the eyes, like, nah, fuck you. I'm gonna come beat your ass in your house. Like
Mhm.
I love, like I know people hate Jive. I think he said to Malika Andrews, "Oh, I'm straight out west. I'm just
But
worried
no, he
about the
said it
Celtics."
twice. He said to Malika that was him doubling down on it. He originally
Like,
said, "Yo, I'm good on the West," and then Malika was like, "Hey, are you? Can you want to re-clarify what you said here?"
like
She gave him a
nah.
chance to walk it back. He doubled the fuck down. I'm
I
good with
love
the
it.
West.
I love it. Even though they haven't won anything, I that's what I want my superstar to say. I want my
Mhm.
superstar to think, yo, I can beat anybody and I can make it to the finals every year. I
Mhm.
love Ja. That's and his signature shoe. Nike after the Kyrie ones were the last shoe that Nike got right until the Ja's. I would prefer them to be a high top, but the Ja ones are a beautiful shoe.
Yep. I will definitely be getting the pair to hoop in because got to keep the brand alive and well. But I'm with you, and I hope that the rest of the powerhouses in the Western Conference, I'm talking to you, Dallas, I'm talking to you, Phoenix, I'm talking to you, Denver, I'm talking to you, Portland, I'm talking to all you, I'm talking to you, Clippers. I hope y'all heard what the Grizzlies had to say and said, "Oh, okay,
Yeah. Can I
let's
can
see
I inter-
about it then.
can I
Let's see
interject for a
about it."
second? Ja won't talking to Luca. Luca owns Memphis. Luca has owned Memphis since he got in the league. Ja won't talking to Luca. He know better than that. He know better. He can talk to Steph like that. You can't talk to Luca like that.
Hey, they got to do it in the playoff series this year. That'd be the thing. If, year to year, it'd be funny until like, hey, that shit sound good until we play as this year in a regular. Okay, so let me ask you this: with some of these, because like in NFL rivalries, depending on who you are, you might play them once, twice, maybe 3 times a year max.
Mm-hmm.
In the NBA, you can play them 2 times if they're out of conference, 4 to 5 times if they're in your conference. Then you may have a 7 game series with them.
Mm-hmm.
How do you keep the energy the same in the NBA with the beef? Like if the beef is beefing, how you keep that energy the same?
Ooh, I think that's a great question. I know, like as someone who played football, someone talks trash to you, like you said, you get them that one time and that's it. But I think as a basketball player, there's got to be something to dominating someone over and over, and because if you beat someone on a football field once or twice, you can say, oh, okay, that was luck, or
Yep.
it takes 11 people. Like you can kind of talk yourself out of it. But dog, it's 5-on-5, and if I beat you, if the Mavericks and the Memphis meet each other in the playoffs and the Mavericks win, like that means Luka's like, oh, I beat you 5 times in the regular season and then I beat you 4 out of 7. Like don't like I feel like that's just a more like, don't you ever say anything to me. I beat you over 5 times this year. Like you
I
got to
would
sit
say,
down.
see, I agree with that. It's like the NBA, but I feel like at the same time though, it has to be a year to year thing in the NBA. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you did this shit this year, but don't come talking about what y'all did in the playoffs last year to me, dog. Because the thing about the old days is they the
He the
old
old days.
days. They the old days.
Oh, good. A good Slim Charles quote if I've ever heard one.
Yeah.
The next two things are probably gonna be the funniest things we talk about all night. So let's you put these on the docket. When I saw these, I was very intrigued. So we know Thanksgiving plates are a thing. People taking photos of the food they're eating on Thanksgiving. but people taking pictures of their Christmas plates. What the hell is that? What are we doing here?
Listen, taking pictures of your low vibrational plates on Thanksgiving,
Not low
cool. That's what
vibrational.
cool. Taking pictures of your busted ass, nasty looking, low vibrational food on Christmas, dog. What? This is not even one of those holidays where food is in the mix. Show me your gifts. Show me your fam. Like, why are you showing off your plate on Christmas, dog? I don't understand. And then some of y'all cooking, some of y'all look like y'all just reheating Thanksgiving leftovers for
Yes.
Christmas. And I
That's the one.
some of y'all look like y'all are reheating leftover Thanksgiving food on Christmas. Please listen. Pictures of food is cool on Thanksgiving because that's what the holiday is low key about. I know we moved past the slaughtering of the natives. That holiday now is all about food. So yes, please take pictures of your low vibrational, nasty ass looking food on Thanksgiving. On Christmas, honestly, someone should be calling the police on you if you do this. So I saw that over the holiday, and I was honestly like, "Now, some of y'all need to be in jail because one,
Jail.
you definitely had this shit in your freezer since November 24th, and you just been waiting on the day to reheat it and unthaw it and bring it out. What is wrong with some of y'all? What is wrong with some of y'all?
It's funny you say that because at the beginning of the show, you and I talked about how every year I make prime rib for my family. This year, my mother said no because she wanted to go eat Thanksgiving food with her sisters instead of eating prime rib. And now I understand what you're saying. It was so like I still haven't recovered from that disrespect.
Yo, you've been feeling the way since it'd be like, yo, you my mother though.
Like when I tell you, like that steak I made for my wife is one of the
Fire,
best cuts of meat I've ever made in my life. And I looked at her and I said, the whole family could have had some, but my mother said no. Enjoy your dry ass turkey, fam. Don't ask me for nothing else.
So what I'm hearing is that I need to think of a cooking tradition on New Year's to really get. So the problem is, the last 2 years I've been going on kind of some trips on New Year's. Maybe eventually I'm gonna stop on the trips and cook, or maybe on a trip I cook.
Yeah. So here's the trick about New Year's, because this year I'm hosting New Year's at my house with my wife. Actually, I believe Bam is going to come through. I'm going to text him tomorrow for my address. You got to do something small because people are going to be eating throughout the night, right? So like you can't have a big meal at 7 because people are going to stay up till 12, 1, 2. So like I'm making chicken wings. People are going to start coming in at 9. So you have like little finger foods, like little chicken wings, like someone's bringing meatballs so people can slowly eat throughout the night instead of having one massive meal at, 7:38. No. And it kind of offsets the booze too when you're drinking, right? So you're doing this drinking, you're steadily eating pizza or whatever. So I'm making chicken wings for my New Year's. Something, some slight. You can get 4 or 5, feel full, go take a couple shots, have another wing, have some meatballs. Like you can kind of you can pace yourself throughout the night.
How many wings do you get? The party wings, or you get the big kind of drumettes?
Depends on what's there. I prefer the whole wings have pause. I'm gonna say before have more meat in my opinion compared to the wings that are cut up to drums and flats, and those are usually more affordable. But since it's going to be such a big crowd, I'm probably going to go to Costco and just buy the big pack of party wings that are already cut up.
Party wings fan, bro. I make party wings like for myself to eat. Season thaw the chicken, obviously, clean it, season it, cook it. Then I take about half, pour sauce on it, whether it's buffalo sauce, could be Asian zing sauce, a little barbecue, a little ranch. Woo!
Rap. Let me ask you a question because I trust your palate, and then we'll talk about the funniest thing we'll talk about tonight. Bam, shut up. And Gator J, I will smoke the wings.
Whoa, Bam. No, for everyone who is listening, whoa, Bam in the comments just said Danny wants the most meat in his mouth for the best price. I need everyone to hear me when I say this. Bam, I hope you are somewhere just saying nothing but pauses. Nothing but pauses. Cause whoa, and this your cousin, right?
That's family.
Bam.
And he gonna walk
Whoa.
into my house on Saturday night, eat my food, drink my liquor,
Nah,
sit
bam.
on my sofa, watch the
That's
game on
wild.
my TV.
Nah, bam. That's wild. Bam, I know you still mad about that first round pick you lost, trading Christian Kirk, but listen, never again.
But back to my question before Bam ruined everything. How does this sound for a wing flavor? I'm trying to play with some flavors. A hot honey lemon pepper. How does that
Woo!
sound?
Brother, fire. Fire.
All right, I'm gonna
Listen,
play with it.
only the real wing heads or fellow Georgians know about hot honey or a hot lemon pepper wings. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Listen, Rick Ross made lemon pepper wings good or noticeable. But the first time I had hot lemon pepper, I said, "Now Ross ain't got shit on this."
Dog. That's like lemon pepper wet because lemon pepper wet is just clarified butter or hot sauce. Like, let's do lemon pepper sticky. Like, let's get some hot honey melted down. Okay, I'm gonna give it a shot. I'll let you know how it goes. I'm gonna give it a shot.
All right, so you want me to talk about this last
Yes.
last bullet point on our docket. So people, for anyone who follows me on Instagram, maybe even Twitter,
At Los D Mix.
at Los D Mix, yes, you will notice that last night I came on Instagram and I made a video. I don't even make videos anymore very often, which is another topic of discussion because a lot of people hit me up saying they miss back when I used to be talking on
Yes.
IG. They're not ready for that.
And your Twitch. You haven't Twitched in a while.
I know. Listen, I'm gonna buy a DJ. I'm gonna buy a DJ set, and I promise you, my new Twitch content will be me teaching myself how to DJ. I promise you guys, y'all, it's coming. But y'all would have noticed that yesterday I started talking about things that I hate, and then when I say hate, I don't mean like I want you to die, that type of stuff. I'm talking about people, places, things, topic that when they come up, I'm always taking the opposite side. So it started because I was on Instagram and I kept seeing the same people reposting these quotes as IG stories. And so I start coming up with my hate list. And I start with that one. And as I keep going, it started off as 2, 3. And the more things I thought about, this bitch is currently at 69. 69 things. So let me give y'all a few things that I hate that if you guys hear or think about these things, just know Los D Mix says the beef is up and is stuck with them until I take my very last breath. All right. Number 1, fake deep quotes on IG being used as IG stories. I just want to reemphasize, y'all. Them quotes are dumb, they're generic, and they are recycled from fortune cookies. You please, if you are getting any type of motivation or uplifting from one of these quotes, just know your life is sad, probably more sad than you think it is, and you need to go outside and get a hug and sniff grass. Number 2, the 2015 Arizona Cardinals.
You have a lot of random sports team on that.
Pictures of Thanksgiving food is actually on here because even though I just said this is a holiday for people to take pictures of their food, most of y'all's food looks nasty. And you should.
And it's the same food. I'm with you. It's the same plate.
It is the same plate. Any movie Jordan Peele is credited to.
Wow. I saw that one. So what's wrong with the Jordan Peele movies?
Fam, he is a thief. He is a liar. He's not talented. He has been doing nothing but taking these some of our most iconic songs, putting a little reverb, putting them on a bum ass fucking trailer that gets all the black people reeled in. Then when you go and see the movie, it ain't nothing but some bullshit that they filmed in one corner of a fucking one corner of the desert so he could save money. And fam, he's not talented. All his movies have been bad. And Key and Peele is nothing but a Chappelle Show ripoff.
Okay.
Ooh, fuck out of here. White hip hop heads, I can't stand y'all. People who say you act like such a insert your astrology sign, you should go to hell too. Vegans, I got beef with y'all. Nike socks with Adidas shoes. Listen, as I typed it, I wanted to call the police. A few sports teams, I just want to make sure y'all know the beef is real. 2016 Atlanta Falcons, 2009 Arizona Cardinals, 2014 Seattle Seahawks, 2020 Tampa Bay Bucks, 2021 San Francisco 49ers, 2013 San Francisco 49ers. What do all these teams have in common, Danny? They all beat the Packers in the playoffs and a chance where I thought all of those Packers teams had a chance to win the Super Bowl. 2014 Dallas Cowboys. I had to make that distinction because this team didn't beat the Packers in the playoffs. Des just didn't catch that shit. Pinky after 2010. Guys, her videos were washed and those back shots sound like cars being washed at a car wash.
Yo, that's the clip that's on Instagram. That is the clip. That is the bite. When you edit these videos,
nah, dog.
That is the bite.
Listen. It was like 2013. I was like, yo, Pinky, fam, your back shots sound like a car getting started. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Okay, what else is on here? Woo. The splitting bills finance Twitter conversations. We have to let these go. People, listen. Either split the fucking bills or one person pay for the fucking bills. It don't matter. Eminem. If you know me, you know I don't like it. Rudy Gobert. I'm still not over you ruining the NBA. Social media couples. Y'all are terrible. Who else is on here? Oh my gosh, here's a good one. Folks who say white people are invited to the cookout. No, they're not. No, if you're not a family friend and you're a Caucasian, don't come to the cookout unless you are invited.
Can we go back to the car starting?
Nah, listen. And that was just 2013. By the time 2016 came around, them pinky back shots sounded like 1992 Ultima. Dog, I'm so glad she found some other talent and she got a whole network now. Because I was like, son, listen.
Wait. A network?
Yeah, she got a network now, dog. Listen.
What kind of network? Like a BET?
Listen, it's like when Peyton Manning after listen, Pinky in 2021 is like 20 what year was that? 2015 Denver Broncos, and she's Peyton Manning. Like the talent around her is spectacular. Some of the work she be working in nowadays, I'd be like, oh, that's a nice piece of you know what. But when Pinky's in the scene herself, it's literally like Peyton Manning in that final Super Bowl with the noodle arm. Like, dog, you can't get it 10 to 15. You need to retire. And Pinky's network is her version of Omaha Productions. Like, this, you take this and you do something with it. Who else on this list? Child support. Yo, I've always thought child support was one of the worst creations of mankind. Why should I have listen? I want everyone to know, and I'm gonna look in the camera when I say this.
Okay.
If you ever hear about Darius or Los D Mix having a baby, I'm gonna take care of that baby. And if you ever hear of Los D Mix on child support, just know he's not in this country anymore. Because you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna leave the United States of America long before I pay a dime in child support. Ever.
Why not? You help make the baby, you gotta help take care of it.
Why am I paying? Why? Yeah, I'll take care of it for free. It's my baby. I'm not going to pay the woman to take care of my baby. What are you talking about?
So you're saying you don't believe in child support because you believe in being an active father?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you motherfucking right. Yeah. And if me and the shorty don't work out and she put me on child support, I'm moving to Ghana. I'm moving to Africa, and I'm never paying a dime of child support. So that I'm not going to finish the rest of that sentence. Listen, K-pop. I think this is the worst genre of music ever, and a racist. Jada Pinkett Smith. I just think it's about time we stop putting the mic in front of her. That's all. People who send voice memos instead of text, there's a special place in hell for you. Because why don't you just wait until you're free enough to type to let me know whatever you have to say?
Or you can just ask Siri to type,
or that, because there is speak to text now.
Yes.
Mike Vick cousin. You was supposed to take that charge, big dog.
One of the greatest mishandles of justice ever. You were
supposed to take that, fam. Come on now, because he was supposed to take that charge. Big Vic. Big Vic. My bad, OG. I'm going to take this charge. Please go make this NFL money when I'm out. Just make sure I'm up too.
He had just signed 2 $100 million contracts. Take the fall.
Take easily. Steve Irwin's Killer Stingray. When I see you, you bitch ass motherfucker, it's over for you. You lucky I don't. Who else? Mia Khalifa. Listen, Mia, we get it. We get your history, and we get that you were shunned because of some of your actions. But at the end of that, that still doesn't make any of the movies that you ever made ever actually good. Them shits was mad mid. You actually probably should have stayed in your original. You know what? What? Okay, Justin Fuente. If I'm a Virginia Tech fan, so you should know. Helicopters. I'm a Lakers fan. You should know. Tupac and Juice. This dude was bugging. Yep. Why was you about to shoot in an elevator? No. Why did you shoot in the elevator? And how did no one get hit in that elevator when you shot?
Low key, one of the funniest movies on earth.
Shit made no sense. Jussie Smollett. Listen. Jussie, not only did you embarrass and waste everyone's time, but you had people out here saying if you were a straight black man and you are quiet on the Jussie Smollett thing, you are nothing worse than an active a part of this problem against violence of black men. That's what they said to us because we didn't believe that my man got jumped outside of a fucking subway. Get the fuck out of here.
You know what's funny about that? I remember watching Inside the NBA, and Charles Barkley was like, "That's a lie." First thing out of Charles' mouth was, "That's a lie."
Is Jesse, if you're gonna commit crimes, don't commit them with checks.
With checks.
Yeah. 2018 Duke's men's basketball team. Y'all should not have beaten us that year in the Sweet 16. I'm gonna just let it be known. 2018 NBA Finals, Game 1, J.R. Smith and George Hill. Not many people forget. I mean, not many people remember that. Yes, J.R. Smith forgot the score, but George Hill forgot to hit his free throws and wasted literally a top 10 LeBron James game in his career. Whoever gave T Swift that award over Beyonce, you know which one I'm talking about too.
Yep.
Subsequently, whoever turned off Kanye's mic on stage with T Swift, I got beef for you because let him finish his sentence. He won't tell him a single lie. TikTok, I can't stand you. TikTok videos of voiceovers, can't stand you. Choreographed dances on TikTok, fucking hate you. These are my. I'm gonna say two more, and this will be it. One, James Cameron and the Avatar movie series. Guys, why does nobody else see this movie series is racist? And it is nothing more than white people telling their colonizing ass story in a whole different way. These are blue Africans.
They're blue Africans.
They talk
to trees.
And they talk to trees. Blue Africans talk to trees, and the white man trying to take them over. And one of the fam. All right. Let me just know if you out here think that new Avatar movie is good. You're part of the problem, and I know your ancestors
shooting bows and arrows and talking in a native tongue. Keep going, D.
and there are folks out here who do not see how that could possibly be racist or have some racial undertones, and they saying we're the ones making it too racy. Like, yo, dog, y'all just don't see it. It's okay. Last one I'm gonna say, and you gotta know as a black person on this one. Alicia Keys as a waiter in the "You Don't Know My Name" music video.
So it's funny you say that.
Anybody remember what the fuck she told that man to order?
That has been a conversation in my house for the past week. My wife and I heard that song on our trip. We heard it 3 times, and we heard it again yesterday in the car because we were using Spotify. Dog. We talked about it today. Like, can you imagine calling a dude and talking about how he ordered fish and hot chocolate? What?
And then was trying to make it sound sexy. Yeah, I see you. I know what you like. Get that hot chocolate and the fish, right? Whoa.
My manager say use hot water, but I use the milk for you. What?
Whoa. Like, yo, so what you're telling me is that you're a criminal and you do not care about this man's stomach at all. he's going to be shitting
Well,
all
he
over.
don't care about his stomach. He eating fish and hot chocolate.
Yeah, clearly. Gator says, sheesh, does D like much? Yeah, no, I like plenty of things, just not the 69 sons of bitches on this fucking list. I'll tell you what. Danny, let's finish this off with some fantasy playoff talk and let's get up out of here. So, all right. Well, I mean, we have it's the fantasy playoffs.
It's the
And
playoffs.
at this point in the season, we can only talk about the playoffs. So I'm gonna start off with my playoff update, and then I'm gonna let you talk because I know you actually beat me in the playoffs. So I'm gonna give you the floor. So I came into this fantasy season with five fantasy teams, and my goal at the beginning of the season was to get 5 teams to the playoffs. I succeeded. First week, one of my teams got hurt. I mean, one of my teams, it was my work league. That team was just beat up to hell. Had Cooper Kupp, Lamar Jackson.
Oof.
It was beat up. And I didn't really have a lot of running back depth. So when Dameon Pierce got hurt, it was pretty much over for that team. So I went into this last week, and I made the semis in my 4 money leagues. The 2 leagues I commissioned, and then my 2 outside leagues that I'm also a part of. I came into this week, and we were talking about this before here. I came into this week saying I can put 4 teams into the playoff or into the championship game. And it wasn't until games kind of got kicked off over the weekend that I quickly realized, getting 4 teams into the playoffs, who the fuck do I think I am? I am not him. At the end of the day, I lost in the 2 leagues that I commissioned, but the silver lining is I won in my 2 most expensive fantasy leagues. So this upcoming week, I have a chance to play I'm playing for 900 and 700. So that's what, 1.6. So I have a chance to come back with 1.6 next week. Or if I was to lose both games, I come back home with $300. So either way, next time you see me, I'm going to be a little bit more richer. So when I think about it, I honestly think no matter what the outcome is this weekend for me, I can look back on this fantasy season and say this fantasy season was a really big success for me. And I think if I win these 2 leagues, my focus next year completely shifts. Because these 2 leagues that I'm making the finals for, they're my 2 most expensive leagues. So I want to win them. If that succeeds next year, my focus totally shifts to I have to win in one of my leagues because I got to show who's the king. You know what I'm saying? So, but hey, in the dynasty league, in the redraft league, there was just nothing. That was the best lineup I could have put out there, and it still wasn't enough. In the dynasty league, listen, I don't care what no one says. No one in America, not many people out here really started Dante Foreman this week after last week's performance. So if that's how I lose, that's how I lose.
This year, hold on, I have to clear my throat. I'm going to go on mute for a second. All right, we're back. So I was in 4 fantasy leagues this year, and I'm in the championship round in 3 of them. The 4th one, I am fighting for 7th place. I really didn't pay attention to that league. There's no money in that league. That was for fun.
Okay, so that's not really your league. So you make the league in your money leagues. You make the championship game in your money leagues.
Yes. One league we're all playing for charity. So the winner gets the money goes to the charity of that person's choice. So that's cool. But I'm still in the championship round. I've been dominating in our league all year, the redraft league, and then this other league is a redraft league. I've been dominating in both. And then in our dynasty league, I barely got in the playoffs. I was the last person in, and all of a sudden my team has remembered their potential, and now I find myself in the finals. It is over the course of 2 weeks. The person I'm playing has Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. I don't think I have a shot at winning that, but I will say, like you, 2nd place in the dynasty league gets $200, right? Or is it $100? It's 2. And then second place.
It's it's 100. You're right.
Yeah, it's 100.
200 is in the draft league.
Yeah, so I'm going to be $300 richer the next time you see me as well.
Hey, welcome to the club.
Welcome to the club. I will say, and I'll ask the league this, because in the redraft league, I had Jalen Hurts, Hurts is hurt. He won't play this week. Last week I had Jared Goff. I'm kind of struggling between Goff, Minshew, and who is my third quarterback? And Trevor Lawrence. I'm really struggling between those three. Trevor's playing Houston. Houston's been playing well. Gardner's playing the Saints. Have a good feeling about that. But the Lions are at home, and the Lions offense at home has just been magnificent. Last week, Jared Goff threw 3 touchdowns. He kept toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes, and that's all I needed. So those are the 3 I'm struggling with. And I'm struggling with Derrick Henry because he is questionable. I don't think he's going to play. So now for my flex, I have to pick between.
Derrick Henry got hurt last week?
Yeah, Derrick Henry is questionable for Thursday against Dallas. And that game against Dallas really doesn't matter. The only game that matters for Tennessee is next week against Jacksonville. So the thought is you rest Derrick Henry, get him ready for Jacksonville for the AFC South in your playoff spot. So that leaves me in a bit of a pickle if he is out.
Can I just pause? Yeah. I don't mean to interrupt you. I just got to get this thought off real quick.
You're good.
Now I am equal. I'm even 10 times less upset that I did not make our Dynasty League final. Fam, could you imagine if I had to put my team out there for a 2-week championship playoff and one of those weeks Derrick Henry didn't play against who?
Yeah, I'm gonna get slaughtered in Dynasty, but I'll have the 9th pick overall. You are fighting for 6th place, correct, or 7th?
Who, me?
Yeah.
In what league?
In Dynasty, because I got your 1st round pick, then I got Bam's 1st round pick.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be a top 6. I'm gonna be a back 6 pick.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have a top 5 pick and then 2 in the later round. So for for redraft, I'm struggling between Garrett Wilson's going to, since Mike White is back, Garrett Wilson's going to jump to my receiver slot. I'm having a problem with my flex. I got George Pickens, Deebo Samuel is questionable, Jerry Jeudy, Gabe Davis, and Allen Lazard. I want to go with Pickens if Deebo isn't healthy. But Deebo's playing the Raiders.
And who your other your receivers are
AJ Brown and Garrett Wilson.
And you don't want to well, Mike White's back for the Jets. So
yes, Mike White is back for the Jets.
And you're talking about your flex.
I'm talking about my flex.
Because you're thinking you're gonna have to move Nick Chubb to RB2 with Josh Jacobs with Derrick Henry out, and now you're trying to.
But if Derrick Henry is healthy, like Dallas is good at stopping the run.
But that's Derrick Henry though.
That's true. So if Derrick Henry goes, I will put Derrick Henry in the flex, and my starting running backs will be Nick Chubb and Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
But if Derrick Henry sits, I'm thinking about putting George Pickens in because they're playing the Ravens, and the Ravens, they are not good at stopping the pass.
But are the Steelers good at passing the football?
I mean, it's between Pickens, Deebo, or Jerry Jeudy. One of those 3.
Los D Mix says Deebo Samuel. Los D Mix says don't even get cute with it. Don't get cute with it because my dog. This is outside of the Dynasty League. This is a one week game.
Yeah, but if Deebo's questionable, like if Deebo doesn't play, it's between George Pickens, Jerry Jeudy, Allen Lazard, and Gabe Davis.
Allen Lazard or George Pickens, and I would honestly say there's a chance Christian Watson might or might not play. So you got to think if Christian Watson's out, then
Then it's definitely Lazard. There we go. And that was it.
Yeah. So this begs a question, right? And we can end the pod after this. So we're both in multiple leagues. Is it more impressive to win one league if you're in 4 to 5, or is it more impressive if you're in multiple leagues and take all your teams into the playoffs?
I think
it's the second time I've done this, that I've taken 4 or 5 teams all into the playoffs, which lets me know I can draft well.
Yes.
And if I draft well, then I feel like I'm always in position to make money.
I agree. I think taking more, because anyone can catch fire once and win a league, right? Like that's what's happening to me. Like in theory, I could win our Dynasty League as a 6 seed. And it's pure me catching lightning in a bottle. But the fact that I can look at 3 of my 4 teams and they're all playing for championships this weekend, I'm more proud of that. And like I said, if I lose all 3, I'm walking away with $300.
Yeah.
That's a nice pair of LL Bean boots.
I'm saying the same thing. I'm looking. I'm like, yo, okay. If you take out the work league, because the work league is the work league. I put 4 teams had a chance of mine to go to the next round, and 2 did, and it was my 2 most expensive leagues. So, listen, you can't really be mad.
Nope.
Because look, the team that I have in my second most expensive league was like half of the team I played in my most expensive league. Dog, do you know what it's like when you have Travis Kelsey and Jalen Waddle on your team, and now you got to watch as they help a team and hurt a team of yours?
It's a terrible feeling, man.
It's a terrible feeling. I'm over here like, hey, yo, Kelsey, it's okay. You caught it. You're good. You get down, please. Like, nah, you good. Stop it.
But let me tell you this: if Jalen plays on Sunday, he's questionable right now. If he plays on Sunday in redraft, it's a wrap. That's the only thing that is keeping this close between me and the guy in the championship round in our redraft league. Because if Jalen plays,
Josh Allen and Austin Eckler.
yeah. But if Jalen plays, this is the Saints, dog. I'm gonna walk him, and it's gonna be pretty easy.
On a fantasy note, one of these days we're gonna be honest about Austin Eckler. That's all I'm gonna say. It's all I'm gonna say.
Not today, though.
One of these days we're gonna be honest about Austin Eckler, guys.
I don't know the guy I'm playing. I didn't realize how good he has a really good squad too.
Yeah,
He finally got some depth. I know his issue was depth, but he finally got some depth.
Yo, as a commissioner, because you know why his team looks the way it did, because the people in our redraft league looked at they didn't draft well because they had their quote unquote strategies and it was some bullshit.
Yes.
It was like bullshit. And people don't realize when this is what I kind of want to tell people going to the draft next year, and tell me if this is crazy. Next year, I'm going to say this. If you have a draft strategy, that's cool. But I always take the best available player there and don't get fucking cute with it. Because that's how insert name here won the championship last year, because y'all got too cute drafting instead of just taking the best player available.
Hey man, that's what happened in that third league I'm in the championship. Everyone was drafting, one guy's a Chiefs fan. He got all the Chiefs. One guy's a Cowboys fan. He drafting everybody from Cowboys. All right, man. Let me build up I'm 11-3 in that league, and I've been smoking. The guy I'm playing in the championship, he actually had a good draft strategy, and he's gonna be some rough competition. But everybody else, I've been beating the piss out of them all year.
And that was something that really, I didn't want to say it in the redraft league, but I look back on it, it's like the 2 teams at the bottom, they both came into it saying they had draft strategies, and both of them were god awful. And I think about it, they were 1-9 on the draft board. You may have been 9. One of them might have been 8.
Yeah, I was towards.
So they were 1-8, which means that if both of them took the best available player when they were, then the league just looks different. Like, yeah, I shook it up when I took Justin Jefferson at 3 over Austin Eckler. But guys, I watch enough football to know Austin Eckler is a volume junkie. That's all it is. He is fam. 90-something catches, over half of them barely go for over 10 yards. He's just a volume junkie, which is cool for playoffs. But now on my fantasy team, I want dogs.
Oh, you need now you sound like Matt Rule.
Nah, because all my players, they know I embrace the NIL. They know I embrace it. I embrace it. But hey, man, good luck to you in both of these leagues this week, and I guess all 3. And we'll see. I'm just hoping next week I come back $1,600 a little bit richer.
So I think for us, Dynasty is 7. Right? No, Dynasty is
7.
Redraft is 6. 5.
Yep.
So
you might come back 12?
Well, Dynasty's 2 weeks, so we won't know next week.
Yeah.
But we might redraft.
If you get drugged, I'm gonna be like,
yeah.
If you get drugged, I'm gonna be like, it's good to know. Yo, also, listen, if you're in my Dynasty League, if you haven't picked up by now, let me just go ahead and say that championship game is staying 2 weeks and it ain't changing. Don't expect the vote. Don't expect the conversation on it.
Okay, so that's dead.
Fam, I'm exercising my commissioner executive power to let y'all know. Now, I will say, if we want to have a conversation about roster formats, we can do that.
Oh, like a super flex?
Nah, because fam. Actually, no, because we already got 11 people out there. What the fuck? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? I put 11 people. We put 11 people out there. So I don't know. Scoring, maybe. If people have any ideas on scoring, because I want more. I want trade deadline. The current trade deadline is like week 14 or something, ain't it? Week 12, week 14.
I've seen some leagues that you can still perform trades right now, which is kind of wild. Like I think there needs to be a trade deadline because that's fun.
Yeah.
Like there was something to be said about me trying to pry some stars away. Like that was fun. So I kind of like that there's a deadline.
I like it too. I don't like two QBs, fam. I'm not look, someone's not gonna put Aaron Rodgers and no, someone's not gonna put Josh Allen and Trevor Lawrence on the same team and be a fucking problem. No. Go out here and find some skill position. No. If they only put one QB on any regular football team, we're only going to put one QB on any fantasy team. No.
Okay.
And someone, I already know someone's going to send like 3 or 4 first round, try to send me 3 or 4 first round picks for Lamar Jackson so they can do some shit like have Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson on the same team and think I'm about to let that shit fly in my league. No. Danny, let the people know where they can find us and how they can speak to us, man.
So again, as we wrap up the year, if you have any questions, send us an email at speakonitpod14@gmail.com. You can shoot us a tweet, speakonit_pod. You can DM us on IG, speakonit_pod as well. You can find me on the Bird app at DannyOcean41. Hope you have a happy and safe new year. Do you got any resolutions for the new year?
Whoa, Bam says IDP is overrated. I'm gonna let you know right now, Bam. IDP, I guarantee you, has won you at least 1 or 2 games. Your ID, well, if you drafted good IDP players, because my whatever. The people, before I get out of here, my New Year's resolution is to continue stunting on some of you bitch ass, punk ass motherfuckers out here.
There we go.
And another one of my resolutions is to continue to be an incredible, continue to grow as a man, as a boyfriend, and I'm hoping that by this time next year I will be really saving away a lot of money to put my first down deposit on a house in like mid 2024. You know. Because I'm thinking about looking to rent a house next year, trying to move out of my current apartment and rent a house. I'm ready. I'm just ready for the house living, dog. I'm at that age. I turn 27 next year, so
crazy. I turn 34 next year.
You're only 7 years older than me.
That's a lot.
Gotta be, because clearly in those 7 years, your hair just said, "No."
All right, y'all.
I'm sorry. Look, I gotta listen. You're not gonna beat me and think I'm not gonna get at least one joke in. Nah, I'm gonna defend my honor.
Thank
one
you.
more thing, I want to remind people: this is Danny and I's last pod of 2022.
Yes,
and this will you will not see us for another 2 weeks?
I think so.
I think right? So too. We're not potting the first week of 2022, so we'll be back for the second week of 2022. Yep, we'll be back January 14th. My sister's birthday.
No, the 14th is a Saturday. You mean the 10th?
Yeah, the 10th. I'm sorry, I'm looking. February. Yes, we'll be back January 10th.
We are off next week, which I'm gonna need because I go back to work for the first time in 2 weeks next Tuesday.
Oh, so. That's why we're taking off. That's why we're taking off, because both of us are going to be back to work. And listen, after a long vacation, that Monday. Well, I don't have work that Monday. So that Tuesday, I'm just going to be like, I don't want to be here. Fuck this shit, man. First time someone asks me to do something, I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here, dog.
Yo, y'all have a blessed new year. Thank you all for another great year of shows. We
Thank you, guys.
Continue to do more in 2023.
Yeah. Continue. We can't really. We're trying to grow the brand, try to grow the audience. So really appreciate you guys kind of really sticking through us and growing with us this year. And hey, let's continue to grow and make sure you guys speak to us. That is the pod resolution for next year. Get more people to
Yes.
speak to us. We're definitely going to try to have more guests next year. Definitely love when guests come on. So if you get a DM from myself or Danny, just know we might be looking to just bring you on and see what it's talking about. I think next time we be here, I got a few speak on it questions that came in that I'm like, this will be
Perfect.
so.
What we riding out to? Last song of the year. What is it?
Oh man. Last song of the year. What do I want to go to? I'm gonna go to my replay 2022.
Okay.
Okay, I got something for us. Yo, okay, I'm gonna say this. Apple says that my third most played song this year, listen to this, is I Hear a Symphony by the Supremes.
Oh, let that ride. Let that ride.
Much love, everyone.